Hello and welcome back to the Pin Podcast. If it's your first time here, welcome. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, rate if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you. And make sure that you also like, comment, follow us on our Instagram at the Pin Podcast Official. And today, let's get started. I'm so excited. I have a special guest. If you guys have been listening to my podcast, you know that I've been working on a project, and it's the Pin Calendar 2021, where you could pre-order, and it is photographed by the wonderful Madelyn Hamilton, or Maddy. I like to call her Maddy. And this year, we're so excited because it's cars and pinups. Like, what else is better than that? And then this Saturday, we are going to have a virtual calendar release party. So you could be watching on my YouTube channel, on Facebook, and every girl is going to be sharing it. So it's going to be going viral. So you're not going to want to miss out. There's also going to be the toll-free number that I have here on my podcast where you could call in at 1-833-4A-PINUP. And yes, there's going to be giveaways. We're going to talk to the models in the calendar. And I'm just so excited because this is like, I think it's so amazing. We bring together so many women, and today you're going to see like the backbone. We have Maddy here. How are you doing, Maddy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for always bringing out the beauty of women through your photography. And it's been something I've admired since I've known you.
Yes. Thank you.
So, Maddy, let me ask you before we begin. Every story begins in the beginning. How did you get into photography?
It's kind of a interesting story to me anyway. I've always been involved with the family pictures for my family. I've worked really, really hard to kind of collect all of the photos from all the generations before me, my mom, dad, and grandparents, etc. And always been fascinated by imagery, by whether it be video or photography, pictures of the family. Then, my granddaughter was born, and I said, I have to be the one to chronicle her life. I want to be able to have pictures of her through all stages of her life to share with her, throughout so that she can cherish them going forward. So my husband gave me a camera, and the rest is history, as they say. Gave me a camera, and I went to town on the poor little thing. She was a couple of months old at the time. And I have tons of pictures just from that stage. And then I started taking pictures of other friends and their children. And then I got involved with some groups who photograph models and boudoir and some fashion. And it just opened up a whole new world for me and a whole new fascination with capturing a woman's body and the curves and making her look beautiful.
Well, that's my favorite thing about your photography. Like, whenever anybody wants to, that is a plus size or any type of girl, but mostly what my audience is always plus size girls that are very insecure. Or I'll be like at a store and somebody's like, oh, I love your dress. I've always wanted that pinup look, or boudoirs, because a lot of people associate the two things together. Right. I always tell them to shoot with Maddy. Yes, because you really know how to capture it.
And I appreciate that very much. I've had a great time talking to some of your referrals. I appreciate it.
And you also do, I love your baby pictures.
Yes, I hear that a lot.
Because you do it like they're so little. I don't know how old they are, or just born. I guess newborn photography. That's the title. But they're so cute. And how do you pose them? Tell me a little bit about that, because they look like they're like cocooned.
So ever since I was a little girl, I've had a fascination with newborns. Every time I went to some place, whether it be church or someone's house that had a baby, I wanted to hold it. So I kind of stumbled into the newborn photography after I started taking pictures of my own granddaughter and started following some photographers, and friends and family started bringing them. So in terms of how you pose them, that's a trick. Basically I take babies before they're 10 days old.
Oh.
So the earlier the better, because that's when they sleep the most and that's when they're their most flexible selves. And that's when you can bend them and kind of bundle them up. And they love being bundled up and warm. So as long as you keep them bundled up and warm, you can practically do anything with them.
And they're so cute. They're like a little ball.
They are so precious. I get my little squeezy time and then I send them off home to mommy.
Is there a trick for that? Like you have to do it in the morning or?
So I do prefer to photograph newborns in the morning. So every baby has what I call the witching hour. So they have a moment in the day where they're awake and they're typically crying because at that point they don't know how to do anything else. So I try and stay away, and that's typically tends to be sort of like around dinner time, late afternoon, early evening. So I definitely stay away. I do not shoot a newborn in the afternoon. I will always latest I will start my newborn sessions is 9:00. That's it.
Oh, see, there's a whole science to it.
Oh yeah. So after they've been keeping mommy and daddy up all night, then they're ready to sleep in the morning. That's the perfect
And they're
time.
ready for you.
Yes.
And now how do you want to tell the story of how we met?
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
Well, in the story, how you were saying when you started, after you finished shooting your friends, you joined groups. And I saw, you posted, I forgot where, but you were looking for plus size boudoir models. And I went to it and I was so nervous because it was actually my first boudoir. But
I couldn't tell.
That's a good thing. I had red hair at the time, and it was very fun. And I had the honor of being on your website for a long time.
Still are.
I'm still on your website.
Yes.
But yes, and it was a great day. I mean, it was an experience for me, and from there I fell in love with Maddy. And then it just so happened we did an event later on, a Valentine's event, and we were both there.
We were both there. Yes. Yes, it was a pinup related event and you were doing makeup and showing people how to do makeup. And I went as a sponge to kind of learn about pinup and how to photograph pinups and so on. So that's how we met again. And I've said, there's something about this lady that I love and
there's
still
something
do.
About you. So, and that's why when I've always seen pinup magazines and pinup calendars, you see them in mechanic shops and they always have the girls with the bodies, bikini bodies.
Yes.
So I always had the idea that I want to see myself on a calendar. I want to have something that is not there. So that's why I reached out to you, because the only person I would have trusted is nobody else but you. And I was so nervous to ask you. And then it's been great. And honestly, I feel like we have the best high quality calendar out there. And last year, and how it works for, if you don't know, I put out applications. Anyone could apply. You just have to be able to come to Florida. We've actually had people from out of South Florida apply and be in the calendar last year and this year. And what I'm looking for is just originality. You don't have to be a model, because we've had very emotional stories last year. Because last year we had a more group setting. Because of COVID this year, we had to spread out everything. But I love that we were able to create experiences for many different girls. They were all different. Most of them don't have model experience, and they were pampered, or they came with hair and makeup or fixed. And it's just a beautiful day every time we shoot. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. Last year we were able to kind of meet in larger groups. And we spent all day together. I know that the ladies started to arrive a little bit staggered just so that we could time them. But essentially we spent the day. We ended the day with the group shots and everything else. We spent the day in between talking about hair and nails and pinup and how to pose and modeling and actually taking the photos and all of that. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly last year. And this year as well. It's just last year was a little bit more kind of community based because we were all in one room at the same time. So it was a lot of fun.
And we were able to take group photos.
Yes.
But this year was a little different with COVID, but we still made it work, and we did it outdoors. And then when I thought of outdoors, I thought of my love of cars. So then then it would be perfect. So this year was more challenging, at least in coordinating because of COVID, outdoor, cars, models, hair, makeup, clothes, you,
Yes.
me, everyone. And then the location.
And the weather.
And the weather, because we're in Florida. And we started this early in the year. I have applications go out really early in the year. And this year, I don't know if I told you, Maddie, we had over 60 girls apply.
Wow.
So it was always really difficult. And then it's so hard to pick. And then from there, I make sure that they're committed, especially if they're from out of town. And then from there, I decide, we sit down and I get with them to make sure the look that I have envisioned. And then from there, I send you like a little vision board.
Yes.
It's a lot of work that goes into this. And next year I plan on, and I have a couple of girls that have volunteered to also help me, is I also want to make the outfits. So every year I want to do something bigger and different. So
that's awesome. I can't wait for that.
So I'm excited for that. What is your favorite part about the calendar?
So for this year, I think it was more of a personal experience for me. It was an opportunity to grow beyond what I am comfortable with, my comfort zone in photography. So I've been very comfortable with shooting studio and shooting, studio lighting, because I can control everything. So this year, because we were doing it outdoors, first of all, it was outdoors. So there's always that challenge. Where's the light? Where's the sun? Are there clouds? Is it going to rain on me? But then also this year we added the challenge of the vehicles.
Yes.
So I've never shot vehicles before, but I loved it. I look at some of the pictures now and I'm like, oh, that was such a great angle for that car. and just the way the car lines come out in the pictures. I loved it.
Yes. I remember in the beginning you were like, oh, I've never done cars. And I'm like, well, the focus is the women and that's what you exceed on. And the car is the accessory. It's like the purse.
Absolutely. And that put it all in place. It helped me with that. Because I was concerned about, shooting the cars because I haven't. But when you said the focus is the women, that's all I need. I'm good with that.
Yes, and all the photos that were selected are gorgeous. They were edited amazingly. We even had a nighttime sunset.
Yes.
I would say nighttime. I would say nighttime because it was nighttime. It's because there was a day that we shot for, I believe it was April, and it was raining, but we couldn't push it back anymore because it was raining every weekend.
Yeah.
But it came out beautifully.
And then the sunset.
Yes.
We got sunset. We got cloudy skies, but then the sunset went down and we were still there with the mosquitoes. And we caught some nighttime shots, which I think came out awesome.
Ooh, I was itching for days. I didn't think it was that bad until the next day. And then it wasn't that bad. And I'm thinking, it's going to be one day. And then the 2 days after, I'm scratching and bleeding. I'm like, my boss at work thought I was crazy.
But it was well worth it because we got great shots.
And this year we did something different. We couldn't do the group shot like last year. But this year, the backbone of Pin South Florida this year is on the centerfold. So you'll be able to see me and the whole team that helped. And if you want to get involved, reach out to me. I'm always looking for people that want to get involved, either social media or they want to be helping in the calendar with hair and makeup. I always tell everyone that Pin South Florida, I know that I started it and I started it knowing nobody. Like everyone that has joined me in this voyage has been through the events that I've put on or things I've networked with. And that's what I love. It's all organic. It's everyone coming together and they help because they want to help and it's always like this community feel. And that's what I love that people love when they come to like the shoots or to any of the meetups. And, and I'm sure you get that vibe, like you said, at the
meetups. But you know what? It's also, I think you attract your tribe. We all attract our tribe. And you definitely attracted me individually, but your aura, your energy, how coordinated you are with your events is beyond anyone I've worked with on other projects. So definitely thumbs up.
Yeah, I really try to keep it organized, especially since we're all working together. Like last year, I honestly think it went super great because we had 6 girls. We did 6 months one weekend and 6 months the other weekend. And like it went so smooth, and we had fun at the same time, and nobody felt stressed. And it's also, it's not, yeah, I scheduled it, but it's everyone that put it into play, like you, Bernadette, Noelia, BB, everyone that has helped out, because they bring food, drinks, and it makes it an experience.
Yes, they brought props. I mean, they brought so many treats, and then they spent time helping everybody with hair and makeup. So yeah, absolutely. You have a great team.
And you're part of the fam.
Yeah, yes. I love it.
And this
I don't know
year,
if you can see, it's hanging back there.
Oh, there you go. That's what honestly, November, a lot of people loved Miss November, from last year. And it's just so hard to pick your favorite of the month. That's why I'm so excited when I flip it. I have the calendar. I have it here in the other side of my studio. Then I have it at my job. And the people at my job bought the calendar. So it's everywhere. And I love when people tag me on it. So I'm so excited. And I'm so excited for everyone to see it. Last year, I didn't reveal any pictures, so you had to buy it. And then I would reveal it on Instagram as the months came by. Right. But if you want a sneak peek, I'm only doing this because I want you all to see it. But you have to join in on the telethon this Saturday. When I interview the girls, I'm going to show their picture. But that's the only time you're ever going to see it. And then after that, you're going to have to buy it. And right now, it's only $20 until the telethon. And then from there, it's going to be $25, but that includes shipping. So make sure you guys get it at thepinedcalendar.com and support us all to make it bigger and better next year.
I'm excited for Saturday.
Me too. It's going to be so different. And I was running through I know COVID is getting everyone, like the pandemic is getting everyone a little, what's the word I'm looking for? On edge, like itching to go out. And for me, I'm somebody that loves events. So it's been hurting me to not be able to connect with people. Yes. But I've seen other people do parties and stuff, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I know that the event this Saturday is going to be different than something I've done, but I'm pretty sure the best part is you could be in the comfort of your home. You could call in, you could chat if you like. You don't even have to interact if you don't want to. You could just watch. So I feel like it's going to open a new door, and I really want to make it a different experience than anyone's ever had. And I'm going to be playing some music. You know what, if there's any technical difficulties. So I have it all planned out.
Awesome.
And seeing all the girls, because some of them are not from here. So it's a good way of somebody not putting miles on their cars. So I know that I'm sad that we're not having a big party, because last year's party was amazing at Tacos and Tattoos down south. And this year it's going to be a little different, but the support that everyone's shown is going to be great.
You know what I'm excited about is last year the reveals were done behind the scenes, or when they got their version of the calendar. I'm excited to be there when they see the picture that we chose, or that you chose for the calendar, and to see it for the first time. I want to see their reaction.
Oh, yes, because none of them have seen the final image. The only people that have seen it is you, me, and one person that edited my writing. Because last year I noticed I had a few misspellings, and I don't know why I didn't check, but I checked this year.
Yeah, it's always good to have a second set of eyes on it.
Yes, and they're an editor, so I had everything well written. And then the printers, I'm picking them up tomorrow, so they'll be fresh off the printers. Right. And so yeah, make sure to tune in. I'm so excited. And then I got to take a picture with a beautiful car, and I'm on the cover and on the back cover. And the reasoning is because I wanted a picture of the front of the car for the front, and then the back of the car for the back. I thought that would complete the whole car and PinUp vibe going on.
Definitely.
And then from there on, you see a bunch of cars and different types of women. We have from glam to rockabilly to goth to, I would say like high-end couture, because there's just one photo, the one that we took between the green, it's a Mercedes.
Yes,
it's gorgeous with Nico and Nori. I can't wait for them to see it. I can't wait to see the reactions. You're right. I didn't even think about that. But yes, they'll be seeing their first reaction with you guys when you watch on Saturday. Absolutely. That's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
So let me ask you a couple of questions from the viewers. We have time for 3 questions.
Okay.
Oh, so somebody asked, what is the importance of taking full body pictures? I didn't really understand this question, but I'm guessing not just taking selfies, like I guess
Yeah,
to own your body, but what is the
exactly.
importance?
So for me, I'm a big proponent of self-love, acceptance, everybody loving yourself and accepting everybody around us because we're all different in one way or another. So I do feel that the selfie's fine for some things, but you need full pictures. You need those beautiful pictures to have and to hold forever. Basically, you need to keep your legacy, your story throughout the years, throughout the different looks, throughout the different sizes and phases of life, because it is a part of you. And if somebody's not there right now, they want to see it a few years in the future. They want to be able to go back into your photos and see you throughout your life. That's really important to me. But additionally, because we want to love ourselves, we want to be good with ourselves regardless of what we may think are flaws, want to capture ourselves. So you need that full body picture. Why not show yourself? You are you. So I think
That's
that
good.
that's a super important aspect. Whenever I do photography or photo session, I do some, some headshots. I do 3/4 shots, and then I will always include full body shots. And then you pick what you like. But I think it's so important to see ourselves as a whole.
I love it. And something you just said is something I've experienced when I shoot with you is you like taking different angles because
Absolutely.
you walk in as a client like, okay, I want these types of pictures, but I love that you also have different ideas. Even with the calendar shoots, I know that I have a dream. I call it like a dream pose.
Uh-huh.
But then you also go very creative because you have a different eye than I do because you're behind the lens.
Right.
And then sometimes I always end up going with what you did because, but that's so true, and you want
Yeah.
to see your body and see the evolution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very, very, very big on that. I get into my photo shoots and I get a little bit in the zone type of thing, and I just start moving my subject around and I start moving myself around and we just go. I can shoot for hours, one person. I'm good.
Ladder I've seen you on a ladder. I've seen you on the floor.
Yes. Anywhere, any which angle I think is going to look good for that individual.
Yes. Yeah, we even shot with a fire truck for the calendar.
Yes.
And you were
That
on the
was so
ladder.
much fun.
Yes. I loved it. And I love the shoes because I had the shoes that the model wears is one of mine. And
oh my gosh, they're
and
beautiful.
I love them. Wait till you guys see them. The next question I have is, how do you get ladies to relax before a shoot? I'm sure you get that a lot.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. So I can try and just talk to them. I like to have people come in and do hair and makeup with me because it allows us a time to connect. It allows them to get to know me a little bit, and it kind of helps them understand that I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. So they start to relate to me a little bit. Some people relax with music. Some people relax with once we start shooting and they start to see some of the pictures from the back of the camera and they see,
Yes.
oh yeah, Maddie's working and she's helping me look good. So that tends to help relax a couple of my subjects, but it just depends. When I run full sessions, I like to send out a questionnaire beforehand. And I ask questions to kind of let me get a little bit of a peek inside of my subject, of my customer, so that I can kind of tailor the session to them. And if they tell me they're big on music, then I definitely have a speaker and some music. I ask them what kind of music they like, and that's what we put on. And that sometimes helps people get into the zone of the posing, and it helps them stop thinking about, oh, how do I look? They start thinking about the music and feeling it. And others is conversation, and others is encouragement, just the encouragement during the shoot. Oh my God, you have to see what I'm seeing. And, it's genuine. And then I turn the camera around and I show them, and it helps them to relax a little bit.
Yeah, we do that at the calendar shoots, or especially people that have never
Absolutely.
modeled. They think that we're just taking weird photos, and then you show them. I tell them, let's see what Maddy has, and then they look at it and they're like, "Ooh!"
That's
And I
right.
wait till it's printed.
Wait till it's nice and big and colorful, and you can really see all the details, and you'll love it. Yes, at least that's my hope.
Yes, and this year the calendar, the photos go all the way to the edge. That's what I love.
Okay.
So this is gonna be like huge photos.
Yes.
And the last question I have is, what is your favorite thing about photography?
So it's probably the transformation. When I specifically about boudoir and glam, the fashion kind of shoots that I do, it's the transformation. It's seeing someone come in, they're nervous and they're a little apprehensive and anxious, and they're like, I don't know if I should really be doing this. And by the end of the day of the session, I take my time with every single customer. I schedule one customer a day, no more, because I like to spend the time and invest the time in that individual and help them feel good about what they're doing. So by the end of the session, they're like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Hey, I had a great time. And they're walking out the studio. They're walking out the door with a smile on their face and a little pep in their step, I have to say. So that transformation of my customer on the day of the shoot is so rewarding for me.
I agree with that. At least on my end, when I do like the PinUp hands-on workshops or any type of workshop that I do, I love seeing people that you see that transformation, exactly the same word. You see them leaving with happiness. Like this last couple of weeks ago, I taught a sewing class in Orlando, and people looked at me crazy when I said that I was going to show them how to make a skirt with 2 stitches. And then after that, they all went to the vendors and they bought fabric, and they were going all crazy about how easy it was. And I'm like, I love that, because they think something is super hard or something is very intimidating, and then they find out, oh no, I got this. And then it's and you were the reason. So that's amazing.
Yes. It's like you opened up a world to them that they didn't really see before. And that can happen with your teaching the sewing and with the photography as well. They can, I can do this in front of the camera. Yes, I can do it. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So I have a question for you. What would you say is your one take from this year's calendar? Like
stepping out of my comfort zone.
Oh, stepping out of your comfort zone. I know we talked about. That's why halfway through the question I was like, I asked this already.
That really was big for me. It was impactful because I don't typically shoot outdoors a lot. I shoot more studio, but then I had never shot the cars. And so just being able to find a way to incorporate the vehicles with the ladies, was a big takeaway. It's like, oh, okay, I did it.
Yes, you did it very well.
Thank you. It was kind of a transformation for me too. So now, ever since then, I've bought a new lens for my cameras to do more outdoor stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
I want you to make sure you guys to check out, go check out on Instagram, Pinned Calendar. You'll see the photos from last year. I reveal them every month. I recently made an Instagram, so go follow that, Pinned Calendar. And that you could also find the info of the calendar, how to order it, where to watch it live on Saturday on the description below, or in your Apple podcast. It'll be Spotify. It'll be in the description below. And I'll also have Maddie's handle, Madelyn Hamilton Photography. Make sure to check out her Instagram, and because you have to check out her amazing photos. You won't see any of the calendar this year right now, but you'll be able to see everything else that she does, and just imagine. And the gorgeousness that you guys are not ready for this Saturday. Oh. Is there anything else that you want to add to today's episode?
I also have another Instagram page that I kind of do a little bit more boudoir, a little less family. Oh. And that's the Art of Curves Photography. So that's another one. It doesn't have as many postings, but I think they're a little bit more boudoir. type of photos on that page than on the Madelyn Hamilton photography.
And you'll find me there.
Yes, you will.
And next week, I am going to be having Patricia from Bolero Beachwear. It's a small company here in South Florida. She designs and makes clothing for busty women.
Yes.
And do you know Patricia?
I spoke with her a couple of years ago. We were kind of trying to find ways to collaborate together. Yes.
Yes, because I remember one time I recommended you to her, but I don't know. But she is gonna be on my podcast next weekend and next Wednesday, and we're gonna talk about the body and women and confidence, and you're not gonna want to miss that either. I always try to make sure people know just to be confident. Doesn't matter if you have no boobs, curves, no curves, because sometimes I feel like we forget that. Not being curvy is also body appreciation.
Absolutely.
And I feel like sometimes that's forgotten.
Yeah, that's why on my pages, on my website, you'll see women of all sizes and all ages.
Yes.
Because it's not just the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, but I'm 50. I'll get in front of a camera and do some boudoir. Why not?
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Your wheels are cranking. I can see it.
Yes. Maddy's going to be the centerfold next year.
No.
Right there. Boudoir on top of a Mustang. Maybe.
Then I can't take the picture.
I'll learn a couple photography skills from you.
All righty. We'll work on that.
All right, Maddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time and being on the podcast. And again, I'm going to have all the information for her 2 Instagrams, her website, the calendar down below. And I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you all next week.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.